Yeah. Here we go. Nun turn Vav this year is dedicated to Shul Sam Israel, Yul Nishmas Kal and Selma Bas Irving. This little stand here was hers. So she has a chelik in her Torah. Till now we used to have all these medals and this and that, and there you go. So Hashem. Sabina Kodesh B'zat Hashem will help her with everything that she needs, and to all of us. Okay. So basically we're learning in Vav. We are approaching toward the end of Sif Gimel, but basically what we said is that each person from Am Yisrael has a Malchus, is a Bechina of Malchus, a Bechina of authority. He's a boss over a certain number of neshamas. So when he say jump, they have to say how high. Right? So, but the reason why he has the pleasure of telling them what to do, and they have to listen to him, as it were, is because the chayas from Hashem Yisbarach that they get goes through him. And it's incumbent upon him to guide them to the best of his ability. The derech hayasher. That's the reason why a person is given responsibility. And as the Gemara says about anybody who buys an Eved Ivri, himself, a Jewish slave, so the Gemara says it's tantamount. There is a koine odon la'atzmai. He's actually buying a master over him, because the rule of owning an Eved Ivri is that anything that it can be that you're eating a ribeye steak and he's eating gruel or chicken. No such thing. If you're eating a ribeye steak, he has to eat a ribeye steak. If you're sleeping on two pillows, he has to sleep on two pillows. If you only have two pillows, you have to give it to him. Anybody who is the slavery of the Tanakh, is not like like is understood from the Goyim understand slavery. Anyhow, so you have to use the Malchus, Savayis Hashem. You have to admonish, you have to stir, you have to, guide all those that are subjected to you. In Savayis Hashem, to Derech Hashem. So how do you do it? All this is done by Esek Torah. When you learn Torah, this does that. Because by Esek Torah, you are actually injecting longevity, Riches Yomim, and Das into the Malchus, into your Malchus. And that has, as we learned last week, we'll go over it a little bit, you will reveal the Astoras B'toch Astoras. So you have all the camouflages, all the coverings, the within coverings, and that turns them over to Torah. And we said there is one Astora, there is one situation of reality being a person being oblivious to reality, to the reality of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is when a person does an Aveira, Chas v'Chalila, and when he does an Aveira, it immediately sort of like cools him and hides HaKadosh Baruch Hu from him. Commensurate with how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu is hidden from a person, I mean, how much, this is how cool he is to mitzvahs. Now, if a person repeats the Averis, he does it, and then he does it again, and then he does it again. So the Gemara says, over Vishano, if a person made an Avera and then repeated it, it becomes by him like something which is, what's wrong with that? So this is one Astora. This constructs a situation that a person does not see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, we may think like, okay, so like, what's the big deal? All you need to do is just, shake your head and get back to it. But it's not as easy. But you have one plus. You have one plus that you know that Ovav is shown Asaloketa. You know that ideally that situation of allowing oneself to do this and whatever it is, it really is not right. I allowed myself, and I didn't hold there, but I allowed myself. So at least you know that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is hidden from you. Even then, Rabbeinu says it's very difficult to find a Kodesh Baruch Hu. And the reason why it is difficult to find a Kodesh Baruch Hu is because there is no greater jail than a person's state of mind. Anything and everything. When you see a person who is matzliach, or he's not matzliach, obviously HaKadosh Baruch Hu is matzliach biyadai. HaKadosh Baruch Hu determines whether a person is going to be successful or not going to be successful. But what's the kelim that HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses? Chafetz Chaim says, if the HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants a person to be poor, he makes him lazy. In other words, it's not the laziness that makes a person poor. HaKadosh Baruch Hu does that. But the tool with which HaKadosh Baruch Hu does it, al pi derech hateva, he makes him poor, he makes him lazy. It doesn't mean that all lazy people have to be poor. HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes so, he gets a Yerusha, or whatever it is. The same thing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants a person to be matzliach, to be tichting. HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes him a zoris, makes him somebody with very strong willpower, very tichtik, very, stick to, just goes and he finishes, whatever he starts, he finishes, and he's motivated and he's driven and so forth and so on. Motivation and drive and ambition and industriousness and all those things do not make a person rich. Does not make a person rich. Because not all those who are ambitious or industrious and whatever it is, and disciplined and whatever it is, and driven, become rich. And even if they do become rich,
fail in business, they could try and be driven.
100%. But the thing is, the Piderech HaTeva is as a HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when somebody, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants somebody to be rich. Somebody to what Americans love to call a self-made man. That's what they call it. So he made himself. This is what Paro said, right? Li Ori Vani Asitini, I made myself. And that's self-made man. Anyhow, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes a somebody who's really ambitious, really, whatever it is, and driven, whatever it is. And then Al Pidei Chateva is getting, he's getting wealthy. You can see that Yosef was in when he was sold as a slave to Potiphar, and afterwards in the jail. So he says, "Vayi Yosef ish matzliach." That's what the Torah says. Yosef was a successful person, successful man. Rashi said, I think Uncle says, Rashi or Uncle, I'm not sure. He says, what does it mean, a successful man? Ish matzliach. It says, Gavra kapiza, a jumpy person. A person who springs. You remember Pooh Bear, the Tigger, the jumpy, boing, Gava Kapiza, a jumpy person. In other words, constantly active, doing, taking care of business, paying attention to detail, untiring, motivated. Kadosh Baruch Hu made him Matzliach. Kadosh Baruch Hu blessed him. He's Matzliach. Beseder, and the tzaddik on top of that. So his master puts everything in his hand, and the Sabbath Asayah also puts everything in his hand. He wasn't, the fact that he was Matzliach, he wasn't somebody who stayed in bed until 10 o'clock in the morning and then woke up on the other side. Because the Baruch said, okay, Matzliach. That's not what happened. That's not how he was. He was Matzliach. He was a Tichtiger, as they call him in Yiddish. He's a driven. He's a yuchel. Somebody who can. There's in America, stick-to-itiveness, whatever you want to call it. But the Atzlach is Kodesh Baruch Hu. Obviously, now the thing is, to come and tell a person who is poor, the poverty starts in the mind. Poverty comes from the mind, from the state of mind. To come to somebody who has a state of mind of a poor person, that, you're being lazy, just get up, do it, you can do it. You can't. He is in the jail of his self-perception, of his state of mind. It's like telling somebody who is depressed, don't be depressed. Get out of it. Get out of it. Come on, Semize. Now, all these things have wonderful explanations. Where does depression come from? How to get out of depression? All these things, by the book, plenty of explanations. Plenty of explanations. And self-help books from here to eternity. Plenty. But the person is in the jail of his own mind. A person is it's a melech asur ba'avosim. Shlomo Melech said, Shir Shirim. Melech asur ba'avosim, a king who is chained in straps. So Tikkun Azera says, what are the straps we're talking about? This is the ritzus of a film. Who's the Melech? Melech is the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kodesh Baruch Hu is inside, the Moichin of Kodesh Baruch Hu is inside, is trapped, as it were, is in the bottom of that film. And the ritzus of that film constrict and constrain and steps down, quote unquote, dummies down the moichin of that film, so that the person can. So they say the Melech, the Melech HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is a prisoner, is chained by the strings. Any moichin, any Melech, even your own moichin, is jailed within the constraints of your self-perception. If you perceive yourself as a rich person, you'll be rich. The world can be in a famine, you'll be rich. Yosef was a Mitzrayim. There was a famine all over the world. But the moichin of Mitzrayim was Yosef. Paroi told him, Ish novam nechochem kamocha. There's nobody who's chochem and novam kamocha. He recognized you are the moichin. You have the proper moichin. You will be the melech on my people. As a result, there was 7 years of hunger. In Egypt, there was no hunger. Why? Because the moichin was a moichin of wealth. Yosef. The same thing applies to the recognition of the omnipresence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is here. When a person is swayed by an avera, by an improper behavior, so instead of being open to the mitzvah of Kodesh Baruch Hu, S is, even if a person doesn't know any averas at all, it takes a lot of work, a lot of toil, a lot of mesirus nefesh to get close to Kodesh Baruch Hu. This olam hazeh filled with nisyonis, filled with astoris, and so forth and so on. But the minute a person, not the minute, commensurate with how much a person says, okay, listen, what can I do, and strays away a little bit, the mitzias of Enol Milvado is being reframed by a person's mind, in a person's own mind. And now, there's a Kadosh Baruch Hu. But because you went away, you see, there's a Kadosh Baruch Hu, but there's also this world. Hey, what about me? What am I? Chopped liver? The more a person goes away from this, the more control becomes hidden from him. Kadosh Baruch Hu becomes hidden from him. But as long as he remembers, over Vishana, I used to be there, but then I went away, there's a chance for him to find a Kadosh Baruch Hu, because he remembers it didn't used to be so crazy. It was different. But Rabbeinu says, but if a person keeps on doing averos, what happens is that he becomes so desensitized. In other words, he reprograms his point of view until he forgets that he was ever back Kodesh Baruch Hu. At the most, it could be, when I was young, my parents were religious. But it doesn't mean anything to him. It doesn't mean anything to him. It's like a quirk, like a certain kind, like a child going through a drooling stage. I used to be religious when I was young, but then I became smart. At such a situation, he doesn't even know that the Kodesh Baruch Hu is hidden from him. This is called a Storah Shebetoch HaStorah. Not only the Kodesh Baruch Hu is hidden from you, but the fact that he's hidden from you is also hidden from you. You don't even know the Kodesh Baruch Hu is hidden. You don't even know there's a Kodesh Baruch Hu. This is what the Gemara calls, in Masechet Shvuos, I believe. This is called Tinok Shenishba. There's no reference point. The Gemara deals over there. I actually just saw it a couple of days ago. The Gemara deals with Tumas with Mikdash. When a person gets into Beis Hamikdash or eats something with Kodesh while he was Tumadik, or he ate something he was Kodesh and did whatever it is. So Yediyas Tumas, it's called. So this is any idea in order to have a tikkun of a korban. There a korban chatas that will fix things for you. There has to be a idea, and then a state where you forgot, and then the idea again. For instance, for shogeg, 2 pieces of fat, 1 piece of fat, 1 piece of chaylev, or forbidden fats, in front of a person. And the person knew that this is fat. In the beginning, he knew that 1 piece is fat and this 1 piece is chaylev. And he ate one piece, and he ate the chaylev. He didn't realize, he didn't do it amazing. Then he found out that he ate chaylev. Chaylev is chorus. Zodan, chaylev is chorus. What happens if you do b'shoigig? Shoigig, you bring a korban chatas, a very special korban chatas called korban oil v'yored. It depends on your financial status. If you're rich, you bring a lamb or whatever it is. If you're poor, you bring a couple of birds, a couple of pigeons. And if a person is very, very poor, he brings a sir saifo, a mincha. The mincha's dale dalos, this is called. But he has a tikkun. So the Gemara deals what happens if a person has yediyah batchila. He used to know in the beginning one of those pieces is chaylev. Maybe even knew which piece was chaylev. Then he forgot and never found out. He never knew. He had a piece of chaylev. Never knew. So the Gemara says that the korban chatas of Yom Kippur of the fly nifnim, they spritz the blood between the Baron Kodesh inside Kodesh Kodeshim and the Paroiches and the Mizbeach Hazal. This is toiler. This blocks Yisurim from coming over this person. It's not mechaper. It doesn't atone for that. It just holds off any kind of repercussions coming to this person. Why? Maybe you'll find out. If you'll find out, he can bring korban chatas, be mechaper, be clean. But what happens if a person didn't have idea in the beginning at all, and afterwards suddenly found that he ate chaylev? There was no idea in the beginning. Never knew there's anything wrong with this. Listen, that piece was here. It was chaylev. The Gemara says the chatas in Kippur from the outside is mechaper. It atones for him. Why atone? Why not just block repercussions, block yisurim? The answer is he's never chayav korban. He didn't have yediyah milchatchila. In order to be chayav korban, that the korban should help you, you have to know, forget, and then know again. Then there's kapara. That's why a person that knew in the beginning and then forgot completely, we're just holding off the punishment. Maybe he'll find out, that then he can bring a korban, have total kapara. But if a person didn't have yediyah milchatchila, there's no situation, there's no scenario where he can bring korban and be mechaper. That's why the korban chatas of Yom Kippur totally atones for him. The Gemara asks exactly this question: do you have any person be Israel that doesn't have a Talmud Bes Rabbi? What is Talmud Bes Rabbi? It's like you as a kid you remember, you learn at home, you learn at cheder, whatever it is, and then you forgot. So the Gemara says, how can there ever be a situation that a person doesn't have an initial knowledge that you're supposed to do the right thing? Okay, you forgot. How is this a scenario that is, you never know? Who knew? What do you want? Who knew? The Gemara says, Tinok Shenishba. A child that was kidnapped by a goyim, grew up as a goy, he doesn't know. A state of somebody, hastor b'toch hastor, is a level of tinok shenishba. He doesn't even know Kodesh Baruch Hu. The Fry people in Eretz Yisrael, Shem Yerachem, they are in the biggest, Chiloni, secular people. They're in the biggest jail there is. They are literally in the biggest jail in the world. And they never know about it. They think that they live a good life. Anybody who knows anything about the Freie Welt, the secular world, anybody can say anything they want about you. Anybody can invent anything about you, frame you. Anything, whatever they want. Anything that you have is hefker. No limits. Whatever it is hefker. It's hefker. That's what Havel Mispal Shlomo Shel Malchus daven for for the shalom of Malchus, because if it wasn't Malchus, they weren't, people weren't afraid for the police and for whatever it is, Ish Yisrael Chaim Balau. A person would swallow up his friend alive. They do whatever they want. They think we're happy. We're happy. Look at these poor religious people. They cannot do what they want. They can never do what they want. You know, they're forced. They're being this, they're being that, they're being this, and they're being that.
Theater teach, they don't. Right?
That's as far as no, forget about that. I'm not going to come to that. When they're looking at the from people, these are poor people. These are people who are living under a dictatorship. A miskanim, you know, it's just like a. In the meantime, there's no greater exile than being far from Kodesh Baruch Hu. Being far from Hashem. The further a person is from Hashem, the bigger the miskan is. Commensurately. That's what the Gemara says. Sleep on the earth. I'm sorry. Eat a measured amount of bread. Just a little container of water you'll drink. And you're sleeping on the earth. And you are toiling in Torah. Ashrecha. Ashrecha. You can understand. But what does it mean, Ashrecha b'olam hazeh? Wouldn't it be to eat a 3-star Michelin restaurant? You know, traveling with yachts and private airplanes? Having all the money in the world? No. Forget. Because Baruch Hu is hidden from a person. Commensurate with how much Baruch Hu is, this is how much a person is really in jail, in the darkness. Rabbeinu says that these neshamas are under other people's neshamas. Ultimately, all these neshamas are under the neshama of Tzaddik Hador. If you could turn yourself as a shtickle cold, if you don't mind, you can turn the other one if you want. But this is like no. Ultimately, there's Tzaddik Hador. And Tzaddik Hador is Oisek B'Torah, is Amal B'Torah. And with this, he's building his das. And his das is going all the way to the Malchus. And the Malchus goes to each and every person. So the entire generation is under the das of Tzaddik Hador. The das awakens the letters of the Torah that comprise that specific jail. People don't understand, and it's really as a very subtle Indian. That every person lives in what you call the best way to describe it is in an illusion, in a hypnotic trance. Rabbeinu said, if people are taking tefillah very lightly, Rabbeinu says in Sichas Haran, if they were to take a nifter and tell them to daven, oh wow, how you would daven. Why? Because he knows it's not Torah anymore. The reason why people like me don't daven the way they should is because that's Torah. Because I live in an illusion. I'm like hypnotized. That's reality. I have to daven. Everybody has to daven. Quick. Come on, let's get it done with. But I don't want it. I don't want it, but I do. It's like a.
Where did Rabbeinu say that?
Sichas Haran.
Which one?
I remember Balpeh which Sikha it is. But this is I don't know, Kuf something. I'm not sure what Sikha it is. Yeah, but that's what he says. They would take a nifter and give him a chance to daven. He would really daven properly, the way it's supposed to daven. He doesn't live in an illusion anymore. But you have to understand, and this is what Rabbeinu told him. Listen, when he told the mashal that there was a melech that was an astrologer, and the melech had an oyev neman, a trusted advisor, really, a real somebody who really loves him with all his heart. And the king told him, I foresee with my astrology that anyone who will eat from the crops of next year will become crazy. So the Melech said, what are we going to do? So everyone says, how about if we don't eat from the wheat of next year? You can't feed the whole kingdom, from yesteryear's crops. So other people be crazy, but we will be normal. He told him it's not possible because people, they will be crazy. They'll look at us, they'll think that we are crazy. We have no choice. We have to eat from the crops next year. But so what are we going to do? So remember, the Melech said, listen, we're going to put a letter on our forehead, kuf, for crazy. So when we will look at one another, we'll remember that we're crazy. We won't become always crazy. We won't become sane. But we'll be aware of the fact that we're crazy. This is the best that we can do. We are all crazy. The best that we can do is be aware of the fact that we are crazy. Rav Nosson said, I knew one normal person. That's the Rebbe. Everybody else lives in a dream. Is delusional. And you have to understand, this is not a put down. Oh, he's crazy. This one, the Rebbe is normal because he's my Rebbe. My team is the best team. My Rebbe is the best one. He's normal. Everybody else, even I'm crazy. See how normal he is. How great he is. Everybody is crazy. He's the only one. Yes. The thing to understand over here is an illusion is also a reality. What does it mean? Take, for instance, a person, you remember when we were young, going to the movies, you're sitting there, you have Kaibos, Indians, whatever it is happening, everything is dancing on the screen, whatever it is, you laugh, you cry, you're scared, whatever it is, and suddenly it's over, and the lights turn on, and where are the Indians? Where are the cowboys? They don't have any Indians. They don't have any cowboys.
The spaceship.
Oh, a spaceship or whatever. So what was it? It was an illusion. Okay. But the illusion itself had three components in order to exist. You have to be there. The one who experiences the illusion. There has to be the film, right? There has to be the illusion itself. There is no spaceship, but it looks like spaceship. And third, there has to be the movie itself, the film. The thing that causes the projector, the thing that causes the illusion to exist. It projects the illusion for you. This is what Kodesh Baruch Hu does with each and every one of us. We are in Hebrew. There's a very good definition. Chai b'seret. You're living in a movie, in an imagined reality. So why do I believe? Why do I believe this reality? I believe this reality because it's comfortable, because I want to. It's like a person who is watching a movie about a spaceship. You'll never be able to get into it and to experience and enjoy it unless you're willing to, what you call, to suspend your disbelief. Come on, there's no such thing as a spaceship. You're just kidding me. That's it. You just killed Star Wars. The whole thing is off. You have to agree, you know something? Let's say that there could be a thing as stars. And let's say there could be a galaxy far, far away. Whenever it happens, then you can watch a movie, then you can enjoy it. You have to agree to be stupid for a couple of hours, then you can enjoy a movie. That's right. Same thing exists with this world. You have to agree to be stupid to enjoy the illusion, to enter the illusion. This is what we call crazy. The Torah of the Tzaddik goes, and then the Oises Torah that exist. The Oises Torah are the things that makes the illusion. The Oises Torah make all reality, physical reality, spiritual reality, delusional reality. All these things are comprised of the Oises Torah. And we explain what happens when, when the corruption happens in the file, a corrupted file with in the programming of this Torah. But the thing is that when Tzaddik Ador, learns Torah, goes Arichas Yomim by Esek Torah to the Das goes to the Malchus. It awakens the Torah in each and every person that is under him, and every person according to who he is and what he is. The Torah itself is calling them out. It's calling them out and says, "Yo, soim ad mosai tevu pesi." Dumbbells. Until will you be enraptured and in love with foolishness, with nonsense? Yeah, home run, a home run, a home run. Yeah, touchdown. Yeah. Until when you're going to be in love with that? What? No, we're going to read you what? Yeah. Oh, right. This is what Rabbeinu says in the end of Siman Gimel, that B'chol yom v'yom Mordechai misalech fnei chatzar beis hanoshim. Every single day, Mordechai, which is Tzaddik Ador, is going before Chatzar Beis, the outside and the inside. Mitzias of Beis Hanoshim, for those who fell off of Kadosh Baruch Hu. He said Noshim, there are three types of Noshim, three types of people that fall off from Hashem. Either they forgot him, Noshani Beis Hamoli, either something happened, a trauma, whatever it is, and they were driven out. There are plenty of children that we can see, that go through traumas, and as a result, they fall off the derech. You can ask, what's their fault? And they fall off. And there are those who know that they fell off, but what can I do? I'm just one person. What am I supposed to do? Fight city home. What of my own Yetzer Hara. Shenoshes of Gvurosov, they became weakened like Noshim, like women. Mordechai Misalech Hadas Shloim to go to bring in the inside, from the outside, from the Chatzar, from the yard, from the outside to the base, inside the base, the Torah that exists inside of the notion of those that fell off. And Hadas Shloim Esther, to bring Das into the show of Esther, the story of the Hastara, to awaken the people that are inside that are inside, that are locked inside, that are hidden from sight. And this is the this is that's the tzaddik, that's the teichach of the tzaddik. This is the admonishment, the guidance, the putting, make people toe the line of the tzaddik, shemutal olav lehazil l'achkiach kanal, that is incumbent upon him to admonish the people. Ki goyim the das, he causes through the das, that washa Torah tochiach, the Torah itself will admonish and guide the people. And through this admonishment, he's like the Torah, and he causes to happen. He brings down longevity to the Malchus. So he shouldn't be that position of authority shortens the life of the position holder. Whenever that happens, when is being in a position of authority shorten the Melch's life? When a person does not admonish, does not use his position of authority to admonish the people, but either he chooses to abuse his power, or he just forgets the whole thing. I'm not in the mood. I'm not going to get into this. That's Aval. There's a Torah canal when a person with the tzaddik is also a Torah. There's a mamshich chayim v'yichosyon. A tzaddik is mamshich. He draws, brings in life and longevity. Kinas das. Adashe oraisa machrez kamay, until the Torah calls out before them. It admonishes them. That means that the person is yoytze the choyv of teichachon. I need to do teichachon. I did it. I learned Torah. The Torah itself, becomes that. First, I go and talk to them and tell them whatever it is. I don't know what to tell them. I learned Torah. The Torah itself already. Torah really knows what to tell them. As I enter Rabbanos HaMalchus, then Rabbanos HaMalchus doesn't hurt him. Because a person injects arichas yomin through the teichachon. Nimtza, arichas yomin. It is through arichas yomin. This is longevity. B'chinas das. This is the das. That's a das that you draw upon yourself through the Torah. There's a be'atzmoi. Through that das, this is how a person injects longevity into the Malchus, so he himself will not be punished. He himself should not perish chas v'chalila because of the affairs of those who are under him. And he just let it slide, and therefore he becomes punished. Because Hashem should help us. That Hashem, first of all, that the Kadosh Baruch Hu should put all Torah Yisrael, so the Torah that we learned, especially Yechid Sinwar, Yemach Shimai, and Muhammad Def Yemach Shimai, and all their underlings, will hang them on a tall tree with Hashem, soon with Hashem. And those in Iran, and those in the Hezbollah, and all those. All the Kodesh Baruch Hu Machnia, and Bezat Hashem Kodesh Baruch Hu Machnia, all the Erev Rav is holding the poor Jews in Eretz Yisrael captive under the delusion they are cultured, they are beautiful, they can play soccer and lose, Over
the height of Or Nagoyim is Eurovision.
Yeah, that's right.
Sending a long sneeze.
Yeah. Okay. So, and the thing is that holds him there is Erev Rav. The neshamas of Erev Rav are the ones that they are Rishonim. Rishonim Gmurim. The Rishonim Gmurim. Hashem says, "V'machnia otam ziv Hashem u'zoche." Mashiach Tzidkenu will come, be machnia them, will be zochet without Hashem Geulah Shleimo. Meher Aminu Amen. Zchut Rabbeinu Hakadosh. Lo tzadikim amitim. Okay, let's see if we can stop that. Stop recording. Stop.